The Federal Appeals Court in Ohio today ruled that states can enforce bans on same-sex marriage. This is the first time that a federal appeals court has ruled on that side of the issue. We've had 4 other federal appeals courts rule that such bans are unconstitutional. But the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which oversees federal courts in 4 states in the upper Midwest, ruled the other way. They said that the question should be left to voters and state legislators to decide and not be decided by federal judges. This is particularly important not just for those 4 states, but for the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court justices have been waiting to see whether the federal appeals courts would disagree among themselves on the issue. The court recently decided not to hear a series of appeals from rulings that had struck down bans as unconstitutional because all of the federal courts up to that point had agreed. But now that you've got federal courts on either side of the issue, the justices are likely to step in. The big question, beyond obviously where the majority of the Supreme Court will come down, is how quickly the court might consider the issue. Ordinarily, it takes a couple of months, sometimes quite a few months, for a case to work its way from the Court of Appeals up to the Supreme Court. So if things followed the normal pattern, this case probably would not be heard until sometime next fall. But in this case, both the gay rights advocates and the states whose laws are at issue all seem to agree that they would like to get this case in front of the Supreme Court as quickly as possible. So if they move quickly, they have 4 or 5 weeks in which they could get the necessary paperwork filed in order for the court to hear the case in the spring and issue a decision by June. Once the Supreme Court hears the issue, a lot will probably depend on the opinion of Justice Anthony Kennedy, who has been the swing vote on a number of issues before the court. There appear to be 4 justices who are ready to rule that that bans on same-sex marriage violate the Constitution's guarantee of equal protection of the laws and due process. There also appear to be 4 other justices who are likely to vote to allow states to ban same-sex marriage. So Kennedy would be the justice in the middle who could supply the 5th vote either way.